Hi guys, welcome to another video. So this is the long awaited video on how to make mesh pots for your Phalaenopsis orchids. I do the mesh pot method and it works great for me. If you follow me on my channel, you will see that the orchids that I grow in mesh pots, especially my Phalaenopsis orchids, they do awesome in the mesh pots. So you're going to go ahead, get yourself some chicken wire, or you can just ask for chicken wire when you go to the hardware, or mesh wire. And you're going to go ahead and then ask for a cutter. You're going to need a proper cutter to cut the wire, and also a pliers to close the edges. So you're going to go ahead, we're going to cut off a section of the wire. So the section that I'm cutting off is it would be the size of the pot, basically, in terms of the perimeter. So you will see as we go along. So go ahead, cut off the section that you want to use. Then what I'm doing now is counting the number. So I'm counting to 12. So 12 squares. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 squares. That is the length I want it, and the height. So it's the width and the length I'm using is 12 squares. And then that will give me the height that I want. You can count it different if you want it to be a bigger pot, but this is going to be a very small pot because I like to put my orchids in small pots, especially my Phalaenopsis orchids, because they like to wrap around the mesh pot. So I counted it like that, and then I'll go ahead and I'll fold the mesh, fold in the mesh 12 squares by 12 squares by 12 squares, and then that would give me the sides. So I will get all the sides going around, 1 2 3 4 sides going around. After folding and getting the 4 sides, we're going to go ahead and cut off the excess mesh. So there we have it. Now we have the 4 sides. So the edges that were left off is what we will use to close one side of the mesh pot. However, I had done 12 squares going up and 12 squares going across, but it's a bit too tall for the purpose that I wanted for my Phalaenopsis orchids. So I decided to cut off one row of the little square meshes just to get it a little smaller. So we're going to go ahead now and close the edges. You see those sharp edges that were left out? We're going to use them to close up the pot. So you're going to bend them under to close the pot. going to leave the edges out, all of the edges out, because you're going to use them to close the bottom of the mesh pot. So you leave all edges up, right, and then you're going to be using it to close the bottom, and then you can cut off the excess edge if there's any left afterwards. So now we're going to go ahead and cut out the bottom of the mesh pot that we're going to place on this little square here. So you can do it according to what size pot you want. If you want a big mesh pot, if you want a small mesh pot, it all depends on what size mesh pot you want to use and for what purpose. So what I used was 11 around, so 11 squares for each side, 11 squares going across and 11 squares going down. So you can decide how you want to do yours. See, now we have the bottom for the mesh pot, and then this would complete the process. So it's not a hard process, it is something that is easy to do. It takes not a lot of time, but maybe first time doing it, it might take you a little time and until you perfect it, but it's not bad. So you're going to go ahead now and place it on the bottom of the pot. Then you use your pliers and just close the edges that you had left out. So you see, you twine them together with the pliers and bend them under. And there it is, we have our mesh pot. So it's not a hard process, it's pretty easy. So if you follow step by step, you should be able to make your own mesh pot, or you could instruct someone to make it for you if you think you can't manage. So wear proper gloves so that the edges don't cut your hands and stuff like that. And that's it. We have a lovely mesh pot for Phalaenopsis orchid, or any other orchid which you think likes to grow like this with a lot of air around their roots. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. And if you want to see everything that I post, go back, watch the old videos. And for the new persons, you can visit my channel, watch all my other videos where I did plant tours, I went to an orchid show, so you can see other content that I also have. But this is it for now, and we have our mesh pot. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.